So in the first hips video, I discussed the different ranges of motion for a hip. So part of the range of motion is the leg inside the pelvis joint will go back, right? Behind the body. So you can stretch and reach that right leg back. So we're going to work on some exercises that have to do with that particular piece to the range of motion of a hip. So starting laying face down, and I'm going to do this face down this way, and then I'm going to turn around so you can see a different angle on my knee and my hip. So from here, face down. My hands are going to become like a pillow for my forehead, or they're just going to sit up above my head here. I'm using them as a pillow, especially because of the microphone. So facing down. First, before I go anywhere or do anything, I want to tense my legs and press my pelvis down. So just tense like your butt, your backs of your thighs, and push your pelvis down into the floor. And even so, do it so hard that your knees kind of lift off the ground. So you're pressing your pelvis down with all your might. Push your left foot down too at the same time. Top of the left foot down and your pelvis down so hard. Squeeze your right leg tight. And the only thing that lifts is your right leg, not your right hip. Pelvis stays down, right? So just lift your right leg straight up. Nothing else moves. Squeeze the back of the right thigh as hard as you can to lift to that highest point. And then come back down. So relaxing just at the very bottom and then tensing right back up. Left leg, booty, thighs, tight. Nothing moves but the right leg. Pelvis is pushing down, stable. Go, lift. The back of the right thigh pushing so hard to lift up. Squeezing so hard to lift up. I'm pushing into my pelvis hard. All right, lower the right leg. Last one. So tensing everything in the body, squeezing the back side. Press your left foot down. Tense the right leg, but don't press it down. We're going to lift it up. Only the right leg lifts. Only the right leg changes. Squeeze the back of the right thigh. And then lower it down. Left leg. So tense the right side. Tense the hips. Press the hips down. Hold the hips down. Hold the pelvis strong and pushing into the ground. Right leg is tense. Left leg tenses but lifts. Nothing else moves. Just the left leg. And down. And go again. Tense the right leg a lot. Press the foot down. Tense the backs of the thighs. Lift the left. And come down. So really trying not to lift too high, but focusing on the hip muscles to lift. No, not so much back, not so much anything else really. So here we go. Tense the butt, tense the right leg. Pelvis is kind of pushing down into the floor. Like where your leg bones meet your pelvis, press that down into the floor. Squeeze your left leg tight, but lift it up with the squeeze from the back of the left thigh. Squeeze the crap out of the back of the left thigh. And then lower. Okay. So we're going to do the similar thing where we're doing that same idea with a bent knee. We're going to try to hover it off the ground. So keeping your hands, you can have your chin to the floor, or you can have your forehead to the floor, or on your hands. So same idea. I'm going to tense behind the thighs, pressing the pelvis down. Left leg is going to stay stable, so I'm going to squeeze it tight and press the foot down. And now, lifting just the right knee straight up, squeeze the back of the thigh. And now, hover the right knee out to the right without the pelvises changing, like two pelvises changing, either side changing. Pull it out to the right and just set it down. I'm just going to lift it up and put it back. So tense everything up, press the left foot, tense the thighs. Pick the right knee straight up first and slide it back to center and lower it down. So I'm going to turn. No, I'll stay this way for this one. Okay. Round 2, we're going to go a little bit further out to the right side. So here we go. Tense the thighs, tense the left leg, lift the right knee. Pelvis is pushing down. Hover the right knee out to the right. Foot stays up. Foot stays up as high as you can, as long as you can, while you bring that right knee out to the right. Set the right foot knee down. Set the right foot down. Now going back the way we came, let's start tensing up first. Squeeze the thighs. Push the right hip down. Right foot starts to lift. So with everything tense, hips not moving, lift the right knee straight up. Hover it back. And come down. One last time. Bend the knee. Everything tight, tense. Pick the right knee straight up. Pelvis stays down. Slide it out to the right. As far as you can go. Far as you can go. Far as you can go. Then set the knee down. Foot relaxes. Tense everything up. Foot picks back up. Everything's tight. Here we go. Lift straight up. Come back. And lower down. All right, we got the other side. I'm going to turn around just so you have a different angle of my knee in case you want to see a little bit better. I'm no flexibility master, so yours might look similar. Who knows? Bring your hands to a comfortable position. Get ready for that left side. So tense everything up. So I'm going to tense my pelvis, my butt, my right leg really tight. I'm going to bend the left knee, getting ready. And here I go. Squeeze to lift. Slide it out to the left. Set it down. Watch my right side of my pelvis actually. And go to lift back up. Squeeze everything tight. Slide it back. And set it down. So one thing I forgot to mention is keep your foot lifted. I did not keep my foot lifted. At least as long as you can. So we're going to do that one again. I think I'm going to try to put my forehead to the ground. Here we go. Tense the backside. Push your right foot down. Bend the left knee. Nothing moves but the left knee lifts. Nothing moves but the left knee moves out to the left. Foot with it, foot with it, foot with it. And then set the knee down out to the side soft. You can relax the foot. And then come back to tensing up. Everything tense. Squeeze it tight and lift the left knee straight up. Foot is up. Slide it back. Set it down. Last one. I feel like my left side is real rickety today. So, giving it all I got on this last one. Everything tense. Bend the left knee. Lift the left knee. Hover it out. Set it down soft. Start tensing everything up to come back up. And back. Phew. All right. All right. So coming up to your hands and knees. And then actually into a plank position. But then once, you have your plank, you know how it feels, just lower your knees straight down from there. You want this long line from knees to the top of your head. So strong in the legs from your knees up. So tensing the belly in tight. I'm going to squeeze the rear end, right? So if I'm not squeezing, I look like this. If I start to squeeze everything in tight to the midline, squeezing it all in. All right, so from here, pressing your knees, both of them, into the ground as hard as you can. Press your knees down. Keep pressing the left knee down. Drill it down. And pick your right knee up. Just barely. Hover it up straight back. Set your right knee down. press your right knee down as hard as you can. So you're in a plank, from long line from the from the knees up through the top of the head. Press the right knee down. Everything's strong. Just barely lift your left knee. Squeeze the back of the thigh. And set it down. Squeeze both. Press them both down. Pick your right up. Back of the right thigh working so hard. Set it down. Squeeze tight. Press down. Everything ready. Lift the left. Squeeze it. Relax your left. One more time. Each leg, everything's tight. Pressing down to the knees. Tight butt, tight belly. Lift the right. Set down your right. Everything tight. Lift the left. Set down your left and relax. You might even go to child's pose or sit down. Okay, we're going to turn over laying onto your back. Yeah, this works. So we're going to practice some bridge poses in each leg variation that I know. So basically like traditional, wide knees, knees together, and straight legs. So it's kind of tough with the microphone. So we'll see. The sound might be a little wobbly here, but we'll do our best. Okay, so from feet planted. So you're going to have your hands down and most of the time clasped underneath you. I might have to put my hands up to my microphone so that it doesn't move too far away from my mouth. But so you're going to press down into your feet. This is traditional bridge. Press down. Lift your hips up. Interlace your fingers if that's okay. And kind of like wiggle your shoulders under you if that works for you. Like I said, I'm going to mess with my microphone. You keep clasping your hands underneath you. Press into your feet, push down, and lift your hips. Like heels. Press your heels down and lift your hips. And then slowly lower down. So that's just one variation of bridge. And I like to just go through a few when I'm doing my own little warm-up. So I'll do that one for about 15 seconds. And then these other three for about 15 seconds. So I'm just showing these to you for a variety, but it's up to you how often you do them and how much you do them. You should be feeling them in, the thighs and the hips and all the kind of around that center area of the body. And pick the ones that really feel like they make a good impact on your body and do those the most. So the second one would be, let's go knees wide, feet together. Push down into the edges of the feet, the pinky toe edges. Lift the hips. Clasp your hands if you can. Shoulders under. And again, I'm just going to hold it for, 15, 20, 30 seconds. But find the muscles that are trying to turn off and turn them back on. Happens all the time. Turn them all back on. Press down and lift higher. And then slowly descend. Relax at the bottom. I'm going to switch my feet because I think that would be a good counter. So having the feet wide and the knees together now. All right, 2 more of these bad boys. So like I said, sometimes I go through all 4 a couple of times. Sometimes I do the same one 4 times in a row. Sometimes I do 3 times. All that matters is that you're doing it. You're putting yourself into that position. You're squeezing all your muscles. You're doing it on a regular basis, and you should, gift that to yourself. So here we go. Knees together, feet wide, pressing into the big toe edges of the feet, the big toe and the edge, and lifting up. Hands are down. I'm just holding my microphone because it's being wacky. Push down to lift up. Knees together, thighs together. Squeeze. Keep pressing together and down. Squeeze one more time, press down, lift up, and then slowly, knees stay together, lower down, and then relax. You can straighten out, you can switch your knees, whatever you want to do to relax. And so this last bridge, I'm going to turn around just so you can see my feet, not like it's that important, but so you can do this in a couple of different ways. I'm going to do like a 15-second hold. You could do this differently. So planting your feet down, this traditional looking bridge, press down and lift up, interlace your fingers. Lift that chest, wiggle the shoulders under. Here we go. So here's my hold for 15 seconds. I'm going to stretch my right foot out and the heel down to the floor. Left foot out, heel down to the floor. Keep the hips lifted. This is my hold. You could go back and forth from where we were to here over and over again for 15 seconds, or you could try to hold 2. I'm squeezing everything tight, pressing into the heels and lifting up. Squeeze. Press and start to bend and come back. Lower down and relax. So oftentimes it's funny, that back side, right, pulling your leg behind you, since we do that so much less than pulling the knees forward, the backs of the legs don't get as much attention, right? So it's one thing for you to stretch for flexibility. But it's another thing to really squeeze and use your muscles in that particular angle where you want them to work, right? So you do want this backside to be as strong as the front side, especially if you're having any pain in the front side of your hip at all, or even in the side. So just strengthening the back is one good way to try to balance things out. So this last one we're going to do is one that's kind of commonly done in yoga class. I'm going to show you how to kind of take it up to the next level. So coming onto your hands and your knees, kind of setting yourself up pretty sturdy like a tabletop position. And then keeping your knees relatively close together because we're going to take one back at a time. You're going to have to balance on 2 hands and 1 knee. So right leg first. Before you lift the right leg, what's important is that nothing moves, right? I've been saying that this whole time. Nothing moves. So you don't want your spine, when you lift the right leg, to go, oh, you can't see my spine. My spine to just go down, right? Because I could just drop my belly and lift that right leg really high, right? So I want you to keep the belly in, flat spine, and take the legs straight back. So hands to the floor. Press into your hands, strong arms. Strong left leg, right? So squeeze your left thigh, press into your left knee, press into the left foot, and the right knee stays bent. Nothing moves. Even my butt is tense. Take your right knee straight back. And if it's even physically possible to bring your right knee higher than your hip, bring it higher, but watch the belly. Mine already started to try to go down. I'm pulling it up and in. Squeeze at that top point, squeeze the back of your thigh, and slowly lower it down. Let's just switch sides. Slowly lower your right, set your right down. Strong in the arms, squeeze your right thigh, press into your right knee. And here we go. Spine does not move. Butt is tight and strong. Take your left knee straight back. Spine's not moving. Spine's not moving. Not moving. Still not moving. Squeeze the back of your thigh as hard as you can without letting your belly drop. And lower down. Makes me realize how much I drop my belly when I do that balancing pose in yoga. Here we go again. Strong in the left knee, strong in the arms. Tense even like the spine muscles, right? My back and my belly, I'm tensing those. Kind of tensing my butt. Right knee straight back. Belly is not dropping. Here, proof. Belly is not coming down. Pulling that sucker in as hard as I can. Squeezing the back of my thigh to lift higher, but I feel like my belly's trying to go down. I'm not going to let it. And then come down. Switch. No belly, going right into it. No belly, squeezing the thigh. Strong in the arm, strong in the right leg. Everything's strong. No belly. Shaking. Come down. Oh man, that was probably all fuzzy from my sweatshirt. One more time, each leg. Actually, no, let's step it up for this last one. So instead of doing one more time each leg just like this, here's one more variation you can do that's much, much more intense. So here we go. So instead of being just on all fours like this, tuck your toes under and lift your knees just barely off the ground. They're going to hover right here. So nothing moves, right? So tense your arms tight. Spine is tight. I'm pulling in on my belly. I'm pulling it in as hard as I can. Not going to let my belly drop as I extend my lift my right knee straight back. You can do a straight right leg if you want. No belly. Bending it back, taking it down. Keep the knees lifted, pressing into the right foot. Lift the left knee. No spine. Squeeze the thigh. And relax it down. All right. So I could have done every set with the knees lifted in that bear crawl position. Or you can just do all the sets from your knees. It's important to really focus on not letting that belly drop down.